episode of Sports Talk for You. I am your host, Aaron Bell. I have my other co-host, Adam Parker, and Armand Elias with us. We are here tonight to talk NBA basketball. Of course, we got the first place Lakers at 51-17 in the West, and the Milwaukee Bucks at first place at 55-14. But right behind them is the Toronto Raptors. And I think everybody has heard about Fred Van Vleet this week, the amazing week he has had, the amazing weekend he had last weekend. If I remember right, he had back-to-back 30-point games. And then last game, he had 21 points and 10 assists. So the former Wichita State Shocker is putting up points like crazy. And him and Kyle Lowry, that's a 1-2 bunch right there that you don't want to face as a defense. So here's the main thing here. If Raptors and Lakers were to end up playing best of 7 championship, who would you take?
Oh, man, that's a tough choice right there. You know, one of my favorite NBA teams were the Lakers back in the day with Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's my best Marv Albert impersonation I give you. But, man, that'll be a fun NBA Finals if that happens. And Fred Van Vleet put up against LeBron James. I'll take Fred Van Vleet's defense any day, all day, because Fred Van Vleet learned defense from the best. And you know who the best is?
Greg Marshall.
Mr. Greg Marshall.
And remember, he shut down Curry. What was it, last year in the finals? Or was it 2 years ago? It was either
was
that 2019 when they won the championship?
That was last year.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah.
Because they had
you could
Kawhi
tell how
Leonard.
frustrated Stephon Curry was, man, because he just couldn't get open. He couldn't find the driving lane, anything like that. So, Adam, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, you know what? I'm still, at this point, going to pick the Lakers just because Anthony Davis and LeBron are a really good, formative 1-2 punch. LeBron always steps up in the playoffs, even though I am not a LeBron fan in any stretch of the imagination. I just, would it shock me if the Lakers lost to the Raptors? No. But would it shock me if the Lakers beat the Raptors? No. But the thing of it is the Raptors do have the mentality of, well, no one's picking us to win, so why not go out there and try to dominate teams with good defense? And, oh, by the way, Fred Van Vleet will just take over, which is really fun to watch and read about.
Yeah, because his 3 years in the NBA, man, he started off averaging probably, I think it was around 2-3 points a game. Last year, he went up to about 13 points a game, and now this year he's at 17.9 points and 6.7 assists per game. That's only in 51 games played. So
yeah, let's not discount the Milwaukee Bucks. As long as they got the Greek freak in the middle, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. I don't leave out Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee is a very dangerous team too. So, I mean, to me, it's exciting because we don't have the Golden State Warriors in there after all the years they were in there. So, I mean, it would be nice to maybe see the Chicago Bulls get back, but I don't think that'll happen anytime soon.
No, Chicago is kind of too much in disarray right now. They're almost as bad as the New York Knicks, in my opinion. But at least the Knicks got a decent coach this time, Thibodeau. I believe that's how you say his last name.
Yeah, but it's anyway, ownership, because Thibodeau is going to want the players he wants, and that ownership's going to push the players right out of there.
Right.
Man, it's all about the ownership with the New York Knicks. Dolan needs to sell the team. He needs to sell the doggone team.
Because I'm not saying this because I'm a Wichita State biased, but Ron Baker was loved in New York. And just because of his injury, the owner decided, let's push Ron Baker out of here. I don't think the New York fans were happy about that because when you're getting your name chanted to get in the game, I'm just saying you're loved. And he was loved.
Yeah, for sure. And Dolan, I'm not a huge fan of. It's really sad because New York used to be a really storied basketball team, um, especially in the '90s, early 2000s, and it was a destination where players actually wanted to play. But now it's just not. No big time free agent wants to go there. And with that being said, Dolan's been fighting ex players of the New York Knicks. Hi, Charles Oakley. So, I mean, it's sad how that team has gone from like being like on top of the mountain per se to just being in the dumpster.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Now here's
They are a dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm.
who is the most disappointing team this year in the NBA? I know you want to talk about your Phoenix Suns, and in my opinion, pretty disappointing season for them.
Yeah, the expectation isn't quite there yet, but you got to know they're really young still. But they do have a good nucleus with Aton, DeAndre Ayton, and what's his name, Booker, right there. And then they have Rubio, who they just picked up this year. So that's three decent players that you can really build a team around. I know Booker's been averaging 26. Aiton's been close to 20, but getting that like double every game. But they're headed in the right direction. It's kind of sad because there's a three-way tie for that. Well, not three-way tie, but a three-way race for that 8 seed in the NBA right now. And I believe they're just gonna fall short. But boy, Booker has been just tearing it up in the bubble. In a couple days ago, I don't know if you saw his buzzer beater against the Clippers, but it was like over three guys. I mean, it was pretty awesome to see. But coming out of Kentucky, he's one of the guys that I did not think would be. I mean, I saw him having a decent NBA career, but not to where he's picked it up and is at this point right now. So kudos to him, but to a degree, I think the Suns are headed in the right direction, even though their expectations were a little higher, and they'll fall short of it.
How do we feel about Portland? Because right now they're on the verge of playing the play-in game for that 8th spot. Is that a disappointing season for them? I mean, I thought they were picked to kind of be like around that 5-6 range.
It's interesting because you can kind of say that it's disappointing, but here's the deal. The West in the NBA has been just stacked for years. And you can't, I mean, just because like a team may not get like the 5th seed and they'll fall to the 8th seed, or a team that we thought would be like an 8th seed goes all the way up to number 2. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but the West is so packed with good teams that it's almost like, gee, why can't they replace some of the Eastern Conference teams with some of the Western Conference teams, but it's not going to happen. But that's what happens when you have one conference that is just stacked the way that they are.
Yeah. And I don't know how I forgot about this, but let's not forget about the LA Clippers. I mean, Landry Shamet's back after his 2-week COVID quarantine. And I mean, that's technically a dangerous team right now, too.
Well,
absolutely. They're well coached as well. Mm-hmm. You got Paul George on that squad. As far as being a sleeper team that can hang with the Lakers, would be the Clippers.
Yes.
Yeah, well, not only are they well coached, you also have to know Kawhi Leonard's on that team. And that dude steps up in the clutch. As a Spurs fan, I miss Kawhi. I thought that whole thing was just a fiasco in itself. But
well, how about the Denver Nuggets sneaking up to that 4 spot? Nobody expected that this year.
No, and what's crazy about them is wait until they get Bol going,
Yeah,
because man,
that boy
that
is.
dude should have never been picked.
You know about
Like,
that as an Arizona fan.
huh?
You know all about that as an Arizona
Well, yeah.
Wildcat
Well,
fan.
unfortunately, he got injured at Oregon, which
Yeah.
dropped him all the way down to like 50. But man, if he was healthy, okay, kid you not, he would have been a top 5 pick. Period.
Yeah.
I just thought it was great hearing how his first game in the G League coming back. He had a double-double, but it was one of the most impressive double-doubles. He had over 20 points and about, I believe it was like 13 to 15 rebounds. But everybody was just talking about how this guy was picked number 50, basically. I'm sure it was like 44 to 50, but just, dominating. And it's like, well, if you watch his high school clips as well as what he was doing in college, his first 8 games before the injury, he was dominating everybody. So he's a guy to look at in the future.
Yeah, the Denver Nuggets have been on the team on the rise for the past couple of years. They got some pretty good stacked players. I expect the the Denver Nuggets next couple of years contend for that top spot in the West with the Lakers and the Clippers. That's a solid ball club right now. And I think before everything got shut down, I think the Nuggets were as high as 2 seed behind the Lakers. But watch out for the Nuggets within the next couple of years. I think they're a year or two away from making a big, big splash in the West and competing for that Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yeah. Now,
they're close.
How do we feel about the Boston Celtics? I mean, they're 45-23, 9.5 out of the East. Can they hang with these top 2 seeds from both divisions?
Sure. Why not? I mean, they have a good coach. They got decent players, and it's just it's just interesting come playoff time because it's all about which team wants it more, in my opinion. And if they can come in, sneak past a few people, then why not? But you just can never ever predict kind of the NBA playoffs, especially when there's 7 games in a series. So I mean, it could be like the year the Warriors beat the Mavericks that time when the Warriors were an 8 seed and the Mavericks were the 1 seed. I believe that was in like 2009 or 10, something like that.
One thing that
somewhere.
Sorry, Adam. One thing that surprised me about the Boston Celtics, when they hired Brad Stevens from Butler several years back, I thought that was going to be a crash and burn because we all know how college coaches do in the NBA. But you take a look, but when you surround a coach with good talent, that coach can make a difference, exhibit his coaching skills. You look at Billy Donovan; he's co-coach of the year this year. And when he got hired on to Oklahoma City, not only he lost Kevin Durant, he lost Russell Westbrook this past year, and hasn't been positioned for a solid run. Case in point, coach of the year for him, or co-coach of the year for him.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting stat I found online. Kudos to Taylor Eldridge. He's a wonderful reporter here in Wichita for the Shockers, and he came up with this. In the last 2 seasons, the Raptors are 61-18 when Fred Van Vleet is in the starting lineup, which is just sensational. And in those 79 starts, Van Vleet's averaging 16.5 points and 6.4 assists. So my thing is, they got to have Fred Van Vleet in that starting lineup. With him and Kyle Lowry in there, that's just a dangerous 1-2 punch.
Yeah, it is. And Fred's a great player. And if you're having stats,
I just want to call out Doug Gottlieb, who said when Fred Van Vleet was a senior that he is too small to be in the NBA and that he would never make it in the NBA. And I just hope Doug Gottlieb is sitting back on his couch thinking, what the hell was I saying back then?
Make sure you send the show to Doug Gottlieb.
I will.
It's not bad for someone who went undrafted in the NBA draft. You know, bet on yourself, Fred Van Vleet. Arguably could have been the NBA Finals MVP last year.
Yeah.
And probably should have been, you know. He helped change the tide in a few of those games, more so than Kawhi Leonard did. So I just, you know, kudos to Fred in how he's not letting his height get the best of him and proving the doubters wrong. I mean, has Doug Gottlieb not met Muggsy Bogues? You know, I mean, he was 5'3".
I believe Jason Terry was only 6 foot tall, wasn't he?
About, you know, I got to go back and look. I mean, he might have been. But even then, I mean, you look at Spud Webb, 5'7", but had a great career. You know, I mean, just because you're small, Damon Stoudemire from Arizona was 5'10", was nicknamed Mighty Mouse, and he had a great career. You know, was rookie of the year with the Toronto Raptors back in the day before almost winning a championship with the Portland Trailblazers. So really, it's about heart, desire, and want. You know, and yes, height does help out some. I'm not diminishing that point, but you know, it's just because you're small does not mean that you won't be good. It's just about how bad you want it.
Exactly. So, all right, well, that's some NBA news. We figured we get some NBA talk in because they are very close to playoff time. So it's going to be coming down to the stretch, and I just want to wish, as a Shocker faithful, Fred Van Vleet, Landry Shamet the best. Hope they can, boy, that'd be something if they could both meet each other in the NBA Finals. That would be a high viewed NBA Finals in the Wichita, Kansas area. Let's just say that.
Yes, it would be.
So,
yes, it would be. Speaks volumes on how great of a coach Greg Marshall is.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Wichita State, Greg Marshall haters out there. He's got 2 NBA guys playing for a championship right now, so
exactly.
Too much.
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
man.
Man.
Hey, when they lose and when they win, just remember it's always hashtag fire Greg Marshall. Even when it's the Royals losing, still hashtag Greg Marshall. We all know it's his fault, right?
Exactly. And by the way, as a Washington Redskins / football team fan, new name, same horrible luck. Just saw the news about Darius Geisen. Incredible. Absolutely unbelievable. What was he thinking? I don't know all the details. I just saw the statement given out by the team, you know, being charged with domestic violence, and now he's all that potential that he had with that squad now wasted over a stupid decision. I'm lost for words for that.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking, you know, yeah, what he did was terrible, and I'm not diminishing that because I think if he was on any team, he would get kicked off for. But you're on the Washington football team now, and with the scrutiny that they've just been through with the name change and the whole report coming out how they treated people, do you honestly think if you break the law in any way, shape, or form, you're still going to be on that team? I really don't think so. I mean,
Nope.
you could steal bubble gum or something, and you would still get kicked off. You know, I mean, it's all about trying to build back a great reputation for the program. And, you know, those players have to realize they cannot do anything wrong, from the slightest thing to the most major thing, which guys did. But that's just ridiculous because he did, like Armand, you said, had all the talent to be great. And boy, did he squander it.
Big time. And it goes to show that Ron Rivera is not playing around. You can tell there is a culture change in our organization. It starts at the top with Rivera. And yeah, I even give credit to Dan Snyder. I know that report was bad, but at least he's making the attempt in trying to change the culture of that football team. And that culture of that football team needs to be changed desperately.
Well, yeah, because they haven't been per se great since what? Joe Gibbs was around.
Joe Gibbs, the first part of Joe Gibbs, not 2.0.
Yeah.
But ever since Joe left after the '92 season, it's '93 it fell off the face of the earth. And I know Redskin fans or football team fans want to blame Dan Snyder. It started in the last years of Jack Kent Cook with his ownership. It started with that.
Yeah. But hopefully they can turn it around. It seems like they're doing the right steps to do so. So good luck to them.
So this would be a big chance for Bryce Love to get out there and prove what he can do coming back off his injury.
Exactly.
And especially that rookie that I picked up, Gibson.
Gibson, yeah.
Yeah.
So
hey, I mean, Rivera said he reminded him of McCaffrey, and believe me, that's high praise. That's why I got him in fantasy football.
So, all right, that's going to do it for today's show. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you.